Good morning. It is the 11th of November, 2019. And we'll start off before an amazing episode with just a moment of silence for the servicemen who have lost their lives in war. Thank you all for all you did. It's too bad that our governments made you go out and kill other people for government policy. In this episode, we are going to talk about the price of Bitcoin, and none of it is trading advice. This is just market observation. And really, if you want to make the most out of this live stream, I recommend you head over to the website intro-to-cryptos.ca, scroll your way all the way to the bottom and put your email address in to get the free webinar of our complete trading system. All of the rest of this will make so much more sense to you, and then you'll understand more what our paid services are for and why it's different than all of the other crypto signal services out there. Let's jump in quickly. I'm going to start off with my 10 minutes of technical analysis. Then I'm going to wrap it up at the end. If you like this episode, hit the thumbs up. It does make a difference. If you're new here or you're repeating, hit the subscribe button. It really helps get the word out there for this channel. Let's start off and do our technical analysis in 10 minutes. Starting off looking at Bitcoin Relative Strength Index. And on the Relative Strength Index, you can see I've got a curve set up here. But the main thing, I'm going to clear that off because I'm going to talk about this uptrend right here. Really important in that we are following along what happened in the last big up move of Bitcoin, and it's occurring. So if this drops below those levels, it's important for us to pay attention to that. As we get into the daily view, and I was noticing here this morning that we have this divergence overall setting up here, really looking bullish for me. And as I was zooming back, I was saying, okay, where in the past did we have this kind of same type of bullish setup in this uptrend? Well, it was all over the place. And as I was looking through this, I went, wow, this is a huge circle. Every time we had this in the RSI, we went in another big uptrend up. So this is the biggest one yet, which may mean that we're going to have the biggest move up yet after this. And let's zoom in to see what's going on with this. We start zooming into the 12-hour time frame. We see this nice divergence setting up in our RSI all the way along. Really beautiful, phenomenal. Then I really want to get zoomed into what happened here compared to what is going on here. This is the main thing of the show today. Let's go into the 4-hour time frame and look at the RSI divergence as prices were flat here and flat here. As we're setting up, there's so many more indicators going positive here that if you guys find this helpful in today's stream, I am very looking forward to you coming over to our Discord chat and leave your testimonials. Now I'm going to go over to the on-balance volume. And we're comparing here on the weekly on-balance volume, always looking back to compare what happened last time we came down like this. What happened to the volume? What's going on now compared to pretty much these two specific points in the charts match what we're setting up for here. Let's zoom in on the weekly because I want to see the difference in the volume going on here compared to the volume as it went on here. So we could certainly have a lot more sideways action coming in. It may not mean that we're going to have this big move up here again, but I'm kind of thinking so. Let's zoom in from the daily into the 12-hour. Nothing yet. Nothing so good here. Though we had dumping here, we still have steady dumping. It's not turned around into green yet on this time frame here for the 4-hour. I was kind of expecting it actually. Because when we get into the 1-hour time frame, we see a really nice divergence setting up here, much like we saw here just before the move. Just before this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout with all of these indicators going on. I love it. This is what I do the live stream for, and I am super excited that you guys can be here for this. Okay, I got to talk about it. Here, the histograms are shortening. They have gotten shorter through the week here. So if I clear this off and zoom in on this, now I can draw this a little better. You can see these histograms getting shorter and shorter through the week. This shorter histogram here is really important for the bullish stance, especially now that the week is coming. What day is it? The week is coming to a close. Let's zoom in. 12-hour time frame. Now I'm paying attention to what happened here versus here. We still don't have the confirmation. We still don't have it. This was a really fast turnaround, and so we're not seeing it in the 12-hour. It hasn't come to cross positive yet. And I just blew past the daily. It is crossed to the negative right now. So the last time we had this happen, the daily also got a quick bump here. Let's see if that does happen, because there's only one other time that the daily came up above the midline from below and didn't cross and go back negative. And when it does come up from below and starts to continue on positive, we are definitely on the next wave up. So the daily, what it does and what the 12-hour does here now are going to be really key over the next bit. For the shorter time frame though, this 4-hour has crossed to the positive, as it did just before the breakout here. Just before. I don't like to repeat myself, but just before. Let's zoom in to the 1-hour time frame and compare. Back here again, the crossed halfway before, what do you call this, 2/5 of the way through. If we do blast up, then there it is, exactly 2/5 of the way through, and then off we went. So we're right on the precipice right now. Let's go into the closer time frame just to take a look. I expect this to cross positive and to start to flare wider as we're breaking above these levels. Or we have some pretty clear levels now that if it starts to break and close down below these levels, then we'll go through our 1-hour time frame and we'll watch to see if it's crossing to the negative. If it's crossing to the negative after we've come out of a top formation like this, that's really, really important to know. Key, super key, important to know. So I'll be watching that for sure. Ichimoku cloud is looking pretty good here. Well, not for the bullish stance. If I take this away, the blue line is still further away from the red line. So, not bullish yet. On the daily time frame, this was setting up pretty good because it came up so close to being above the cloud. It has stayed inside the cloud. It is still kind of bullish. Let me do the same thing here with the price, because the blue line is above the red line. So this is still kind of bullish. We still have a twist to the positive. And if prices move up, back up above this, it's super confirming it. So right now, the Ichimoku cloud would be a late confirmer. Same as on the 12-hour time frame. If we do blast up to the moon, then this shows that, of course, Ichimoku cloud is a late confirmer. As it was here, it will be here. It won't confirm for this time frame until we're up and above it. Let's zoom in to the 4-hour time frame. Still no confirmation here. Still a negative twist. We had a negative twist all the way through. It didn't confirm until after the blast off happened. So no help from Ichimoku. It's more of a trend follower. It keeps you out of these kind of wild swings, which is not bad actually. So here we have the 1, 2, 3. The 1 hour hasn't gone through the cloud yet. And that, for me, that's pretty significant. But again, just comparing the last two, it didn't have time to confirm until after everything was already going. This was not the indicator for us on this specific, if it all works out this way. Now, if we get into the 15-minute time frame, we are starting to see that it is crossing up above. And again, if it breaks these technical levels, all hands in. This is obvious after the fact sort of thing. Now, for me, learning on Bollinger Bands has been really awesome this last little bit. Here on the weekly view, we can still see that we are below the midline, which is overall bearish. We've got to poke up through that, and man, that's going to be really important if we do. Now, on the daily time frame, we've already crossed above it. We've just actually poked a little below it. It gets more important as we zoom into the 12-hour time frame, because I'm comparing the 12-hour time frame against what has happened before and combining it with the 4-hour time frame. So here we, many times as the 12-hour comes down to the band, the 4-hour is right at the band. At this time, as it pulls away, it's turning into a good signal in hindsight. So now I'm watching for the same phenomenon to happen with the 12-hour with the 4-hour. So now if we take this as an example, and we can extrapolate it back to others, I can zoom into the 4-hour and see what happened. It also came outside of the band and then started going sideways into the band, just like we're seeing now. And it blasted off and then crossed the midline. It didn't really give us any notice. Crossing the midline, you're already too late. You're FOMOing in with a market order. Would have been okay, but you never know. So let's zoom in closer to see if we're getting a better signal off of this right away. Yesterday, as we came below this, it did the 1, 2, 3, and it was above the midline for the 1 hour. I was going, oh man, that's not good for it to go below the midline on the 1 hour. However, it's poked up above it again, and combining the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the 12 hour makes me think this is a pretty good buy signal setup right here. That everything is going narrow means that we're going to get a bigger move out of it. So that's the review. And if I go into, I've got to finish. What is this? Bitcoin dominance. I don't have the other chart ready. Bitcoin dominance has been sliding off here, which means that altcoin prices have been going up. And certainly our bull market watch has been showing this very same thing. So we can take Bitcoin dominance. It gives us the average of which coins are moving up and down. But our bull market watch spreadsheet breaks up that data like a prism breaks up light so that you can see different bands. And here we can see the number of hold coins growing. This is better. This is more average. The number of hold and alert coins growing now again on Poloniex. And again over on Binance, we have the number of coins growing. AOL Chandra is away and she's not updating the Binance spreadsheet today. So after this episode, I'm going in to update the spreadsheet for everything on Binance and everything on Poloniex. Today we can see that we have 34 markets on alert status and 33 markets in hold status. So after I've done the update, you will have a chance to see that data over on the web page. Here we are, 34 alerts and 33 hold status coins. In about an hour or so, I'll have those all finished and you'll have a chance to log in and see this. If you would like that information, you can scroll down and learn more about it for the Bull Market Watch. Just $15 a month, you get access to everything on Binance and Poloniex. There is nothing else out there like it. If you are starting off and you are trading already actively, you may be more interested in our pro alerts. And you can see some of the results that our trades have set up here. RLC is up 151%. Atom is up 18%. AMB is up 46%. Basic attention token is up. And you can click on these and see where our signals were. It's not rocket science. It's a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. The difficult thing is to do the work of it all. And so if you're finding difficulty getting all this work done, that's what our service is for, is to teach you the system and then do most of the work for you so that you can just log in and get the data. You can actually see which ones are coming up in alert status before they're in hold status. Get your trade prepared and trade it. Let's jump into the price of Bitcoin right now. I expect this to be blasting off, and if you want to watch the blast off and the commentary of it, join us on our Discord chat. There is a link down below. Now, at this part of the stream, I'm going to take requests. Anything that you would like me to go through for coins, I'll open that up. I'm going to do a couple of my own requests first. It's not rocket science, but it isn't easy. Come and join us on our Discord chat. Alts are looking strong against Bitcoin for the moment. Now, I'm going to start there because it's something I've been paying attention to, and maybe too much attention to, that when Bitcoin did this run up, all of the alts took a pretty serious hit. So we can go in and we can see, for example, Litecoin is taking off and doing some pretty good moves. But as Bitcoin did this run up, Litecoin didn't like it. So I am paying attention to divergences in the altcoins. They may be continuing to go higher. They may only come back a little bit if Bitcoin does take off. But I'm just observing now the divergences in the altcoins and expect that if Bitcoin's taking off, they've already told us. They've already given us the signal that if Bitcoin takes off, I'm having a fit. Now, in the long term, altcoins are the place to be. There's a lot of sitting to do. There's a lot of months of sitting to do now, but the altcoins are the place to be. Not all of them. That's why we do the bull market watch spreadsheet, so that we can leave those that are neutral, those that are near fail. We don't pick them up. But as they are breaking out of these formations, then we start adding them into our diversified portfolio, and we know that they all move together, almost all of them. And that's the big focus. So let me go back to the chat here. I really want to know why Bitcoin was 19K and now it's so hard to touch that price. F tone, it's because of human greed and fear. So if I go back to a 1-year view and we look back to what's going on here, I'm going to open this. I don't have another browser open. I'm not prepared here this morning as well. I'm going to go to trends.google.com and I'm going to search out Bitcoin. And then I'm going to bring it up for the past 5 years and I'm going to make it international. So it's worldwide, but it's pretty much a similar chart to what I just saw in just for USA. So here is Bitcoin searches. Everybody was pumped up about it because the news media started to really pump it. Why did the news media start to pump it? Because all of the rich people were paying for pro Bitcoin news. So all of the public was buying like crazy. Everybody and their dog was hearing about Bitcoin and they were all buying it. You understand that the searches is the public going after it. And there is an accumulation distribution formula where the big guys are accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. They've got enough money to sway the media. Now the media is going crazy about it and they are selling and selling and selling and selling. So now we have all of the public who really don't invest very often. They've bought their Bitcoin and it starts to go down and down. And as it comes down, they just get demoralized and sell it and demoralized and sell it. But the big guys, they already know that. They've already gone short. They're making wads of money on the way up and on the way down. So the price of Bitcoin is not going to make it back up there without that hysteria. Actually, it will make it up there. And then the hysteria is going to come in. As soon as we see the hysteria starting to build and we see news articles like the ones my dad quoted to me in December of 2017, he said, he told me, I just read an article that says there's probably not going to be enough Bitcoin for everybody in the world. There's just not enough Bitcoin for everybody. And I thought, ooh, wow. That is crazy to even say something like that. That's such an extreme that I was ready for the top formation. I didn't go short, but I was ready for the top formation. Anyway, I'm off track there. Let me go back. Bluelos. Is that how you pronounce it? Hey TV, good to have you along. Let's go take a look at Lend coin. Wasn't Lend one of our profitable coins here? Shit. Where'd it go? Not right now. I wonder if we took profit on that. Let's go to Lend. Binance. It'll be near LTC. Filter by Bitcoin. Get rid of my favorites. Scroll down to Lend. I do believe we did take profits on this. It just hit our profit target because we were looking for a target of just under support and resistance here after this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So it's crazy. These things are always just amazing to me when we go through it and we're looking at the hundreds of % profit that came out of this. I'd have to go back into the log charts of our alerts now to see that one. And so it's not a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and it could go out higher, but I don't know yet. And for my own part, I try not to FOMO in on something that's making a formation that looks like this. So we've got the triangle. It's already gone. There's no, like this was a good spot to make a decision on it one way or the other. But once it gets out this high now, let me go to, I would have to start digging into the indicators. And as soon as I do, I'm starting to see these divergences across the alts now. Like they've made it a good run up. But if Bitcoin is going to just about to moon right now, the alts are already telling us what this divergences and their 1, 2, 3 tops setting up. If they start breaking down below these levels, we're going to see it in our spreadsheet. Let me go to the Binance spreadsheet. Let me scroll back in time a little bit and scroll it back over. If you are not a subscriber of this system, head over to the website, scroll down to the Bull Market Watch and get it. For $15 a month, there's nothing like it. And this is the kind of data that we are getting. So here in September 22nd, September 24th, we can see a bunch of coins. You can see the coins up here lining up as alert statuses. It's kind of like the matrix, you know, that as time goes along, here's the data. You can see them turning into hold status. You can see that many things turned into cold fish. They told us to get out on the 4-hour exponential moving average crossover. So they were setting up good, but in the middle of October, we were already downsizing on our alts. Now we're looking to see if we're going to salt back into them. And many of them are doing these top formations. Many already did, and they have that 4-hour exponential moving average crossover, which told us to get out. This one held and held and held. It hasn't crossed over yet. So as it comes under this level, it will be an exit. Blessed morning, Michael. Good to have you along. Now, I participated in the Lend ICO and I luckily sold most of it during the hype in 2017. High five. Yes, that it was crazy. If you got into the ICO and sold out here, phenomenal. And now it's got room to do another 10 times move. It really does. So many of these coins do that you don't know which one is really going to do it. Diversify across the ones that are making the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Add on to the ones that are taking off. It is a formula that has worked phenomenal for me in the bull. Blue Los. Good to see. Thanks. Yeah, now it's ICO price again. I'm telling you, these are incredible opportunities, and most everybody is not going over to the website and filling out the form and getting the free webinar on this stuff. You're just not getting the full package of information. I never teach that stuff on the live stream. This is different content. If you want to get that stuff, you got to go over to the website and grab it. And you say, why would I give it away for free if it really works? Because your success doesn't limit my success. In fact, the more success you have, the more questions you have, the more it helps me and everybody else in our community. So the more I share, the more I benefit. That's why I give it away. And the more of you asking questions, the more on point I have to be. I have to actually pay attention and not just plan my trade, but I have to trade my plan. There's a beautiful cup with handle setting up here maybe. So breaks above this area are bullish. You know, you just gotta. It's a larger 1, 2, 3 formation. I expect it to give us the cup with handle and then moon afterwards. I expect all of these to give us a pullback, and then they're going to give us an internal 1, 2, 3 formation just before, and this is going to be the golden pocket. Absolutely gold in your pocket. This RSI will come down, and then the RSI will break this downtrend line as we do here, and it'll be gold in all of our pockets. And I'm super excited for you guys to be following along with this because it's going to make some crazy cash. Let's go and take a look at... Why am I having trouble finding it? Because I put it in the wrong spot, that's why. Let's go take a look at basic attention token. Here is our entry for basic attention token. This is the signal that we put out on the 18th of September. So if you were a member of our Pro Alerts package, you would have got this detail. You would have got this in the spreadsheet. You would have got this sent to you in our Discord chat set up so that it's live. Now I want to go over to now. So here's basic attention token. Zoom in, pull it back. Here is September when we got into this trade. Let me do the 12-hour time frame. You can see the formation a little bit better here because prices came down to the bottom. They made the 1, 2, 3, set itself up, came back to retest it, gave us 2 different potential entries right there. Perfect. Textbook. and then it consolidated. If you were aggressive and you really believed in it, this was a beautiful place, in hindsight, of course, to have added on to it. But it's not just hindsight. This is actually part of the pre-written trading plan. Here's another 1, 2, 3, a trend continuation add-on formation right there. So as we are setting up in this coin, we are building up now for a beautiful long-term run. And you can bet we'll be holding this now until that exponential moving average crosses over. And 40% is nothing compared to what this trade is going to do. Out of this bottom formation, as we come up and through all of this, 40% is nothing compared to what it's going to do. Let's at 40% now, 41% from this move. If it comes back up just underneath previous highs, there's your 300% gains. If this is a really world-changing business plan, and it is, for the basic attention token and the Brave browser, it will penetrate the market better than Google Chrome will. There will be hundreds of thousands, millions of people using this browser. This currency will go 10 times in value. And this is the kind of stuff I want to clip out for later. It's insane. And it's not rocket science. All you need to do is average out a diversified portfolio in the coins that are already setting up. We know the coins that are setting up. We have the data. We have the information right here. We can see there was a ton of coins that did not a ton, a third of the coins did a big move here from December till the end of March. And then Bitcoin dominance swept them away. And those coins, just those coins, are the ones that we are watching now and paying the most attention to. And again, if you're wanting that, it's over on the website. I'd be happy to have you along. Let's go and take a look at. Yeah, I do say exactly what I think. It's important because I'm actually, when I first started out this stream, and probably the reason it's not growing as fast as many other streams is I'm doing it less so for the audience and more so for my future self. I am creating my own university. Let me know in the chat. We've just got a few of us here. Let me know in the chat, yes or no. Do you agree that your thoughts have some effect on your destiny? I'll do ADA. We'll take a look at BQX here. And let me know in the chat, do you think that your thoughts have some control over your future destiny? That is, if you were to sit and think shitty bad thoughts for a week, would that affect you? Would it change your health? Would it make you do bad decisions? If you thought happy feeling thoughts for a week, would it change your health? Would it have an effect on the relationships that you have, the decisions that you made, the interactions that you had with people? Would it have an effect on your life? So it absolutely does. Your thoughts absolutely have an effect on your future. And it's important that the way you think and feel about money, because the way you think and feel about money is going to determine how you trade. It's going to put you into a gambling mindset that you are behind, that you have debt, that you need to make money because you are short. And you'll probably lose money, because that's when I'm in that state of mind, I lose money. It's crazy. And you look back to my old historical self and I watch through my videos and I go, what was I thinking? The thoughts I was having had a profound effect on my finances. They had a profound effect on the rest of my life and everything around me. And so I really want to study all this stuff. I am doing this video for my future self to come back and say, okay, that was dumb, or that was awesome. Let's do more of it. And if it rubs off on you guys and you get some benefit, that's sort of like a side benefit for me. That's great. That's awesome. But I've never done the stream intentionally for your benefit so that you get the benefit. It's always been for my future self. But it's done so well for me that I really am changing the focus of the stream to be focusing on those things, those lessons that made the difference for me. And it isn't where to buy and where to sell. It was how to think and feel about money. And so when I'm doing these trades, this money is gone. Like all the money in my crypto account, I don't even count it as money. It's like my monopoly. I'm just playing the game and growing it. I don't expect to take it out, actually. I expect it to be generational wealth, which means that the next generation, my daughter, gets to spend that money. I'm just growing it. That's my game. And so I have a different emotional set with the money now because I don't really care. It doesn't matter. It goes up or down. It doesn't really affect the rest of my life until we get the big next bull market. Then I know that all of my thoughts all the way along here are going to have a profound effect on my future. All of the stuff that we're paying attention to now, I'm going to be able to let it sit. I'm not going to be panicking and trying to push it and trying to make it work for me. I'm going to let the money do the work, and I'm just going to relax, put it into these positions. I'm just going to follow along with what the spreadsheet's telling me. When it turns into an alert, I'm paying attention. When it goes into a hold status, like fuel here, I buy it. And when it goes into an exit status, I get rid of it. I close part of the position or all of it. And I just don't really give it much thought. It just works. So come and join us. Dig in deeper. Make more of this. As I've been blabbling on here, I sort of did some chart scribbles on here. It is a beautiful downtrend line. It is a beautiful potential bottom formation setting up. And it is wonderful to see the volume pattern right here. I know that if I go into these indicators, I'm going to see a positive divergence here, whereas some of the other coins that did the big move in December, see, this one didn't. It doesn't fit into the category of a really big move. It did this blast and then death all the way along. So it didn't give me a trending move that shows me the whole market really loves it. It got some pump and then it just sort of died off. So it's not one that I'm super excited about just because of the chart pattern and the way it lived through this period. I've gone through all these charts and I know the ones that lived well through this period and looked like they were building great momentum, that there's projects with a lot of backing behind them. This one for me would be more of a gamble, and it would have a smaller position size because it hasn't established a nice enough 1, 2, 3 bottom yet. I could only start off with a nano size position in this, and if it proved itself and it started to trend like a basic attention token already is, then I could add on to it later, much later. So I think we've gone over this one regularly, and that is success in trading. Trading is sort of like showering. You can't shower 7 times on Sunday and be clean all week. You can't work hard in trading and make your success faster. It's the consistent, steady, daily, 10 minutes a day, watching, making your decision, putting your position in, going on doing something else, leave your money to do the work for you. It's that slow daily stuff. Hoping my grandkids thank me. Yes, they will, so long as they are not indoctrinated with the way the government teaches us and the schools teach us about money. The way the school and government teaches us about money left us in debt, left us not becoming a millionaire naturally, and every one of us should be naturally a millionaire by the time you retire, and it shouldn't be a question. The only thing that makes it difficult is that we were not taught correctly how to deal with money. None of us were. We were taught to get into debt because the marketing advertising that we got from the banking system told us that's what we should be doing. When you walk into the bank, they say, "Oh, do you have a credit card?" And the teller behind the thing gets a bonus when you sign up for a credit card. And they're selling you down the river. It's terrible. And a real passion of mine because it screwed all of us. And really, on the other channel, I'm going through a series of details about people and money. And in a few days, I'm going to have a special on a simple plan to become a millionaire that absolutely anybody can do. And after you get this plan, you're going to, hopefully it turns on a light bulb in your mind like it did in mine. It became a virus in my mind over and over and over again. And I hope I can plant that virus in your mind too. That'll be on the other stream, though. I'm not telling you now. ADA has not gotten into our alerts and everything yet because it's still inside this formation. And I think that it's going to do something big. It did a nice big move here earlier, and it staged nicely before the big move. It's staging nicely now. And I know that when I go into the indicators underneath this chart, they are also agreeing. And while they agree, I am wary. I see this big slap that Bitcoin gave it. I feel that Bitcoin is going to be doing another big move here, and these are all going to get slapped. And I could absolutely be wrong. And if I am, well, I've got some holdings in them, but I'm not doing leverage longs on any of these right now because I think Bitcoin is taking off. And so I don't want to be caught in this right now. It happens too fast. And we already see that Bitcoin is setting up for it. So I'm trying to be prepared for that in Bitcoin. What's going on right here? What's going on as this is setting up? Just continually checking the 1 hour and the 4 hour MACD. This is the main thing that's giving me the push right now. If I can get this to open up. Let me go back to the chat here. Dean H. So I'm glad you guys agree that you think that your thoughts will have an effect on your future. And so, of course, we want to select what our thoughts are. Just like we're at a buffet in a restaurant, we're not going to go over to the shitty side of the buffet and pick up all the crap and put it on our plate and be eating it and saying, look how terrible this is. This is the worst. Of course, we're not going to do that in a food buffet. We would go and pick the good things and we would slowly eat them. This is the same thing with our trading. We have to find the better way to feel about it so that we're relaxed when we're trading. It's not causing muscle tension. It's not causing stress. You're not getting anxious. You're not checking the prices when you wake up in the middle of the night. You want to have your money working for you rather than you working for your money. And that's why I do this long-term trading plan with this diversify across them all. It has worked so well in the bull markets. It completely sucks when it's not a bull market. Okay, let's go back. BAT is looking good. Fundamentals in addition to technicals. Yep, phenomenal. Hey, Carl, good to have you along. Just while you guys are here, if you are requesting access to the October Patron Bull Market Watch spreadsheet, it's not updated anymore. Every month I rotate it over to a new spreadsheet. So be sure to go over to Discord and click on the link there so you're getting the most recent spreadsheet. Very good. I struggle at the moment. Let's see how it goes. I struggled for a long time too, and I had to change the way I was thinking and feeling about money. It had nothing to do with target entries and exits. My feeling and thinking about money was screwing me up before, and it screwed all of my trading up because I was fearful at the wrong time and I was greedy at the wrong time. I felt behind the 8 ball. I needed money, so I was taking bigger risks than I should. You know, I watched a guy's video saying, he said, why do most people blow out their accounts when they're new traders? Why do they mostly go broke and lose their money? And he said, if you start out with $500 and you're expecting, say, 10% per month return, that's a really good return. And everybody goes, yeah, that's a lot of money return. Like 10% every month is really good. Like you're doing amazing. And so a new trader gets his $500 and he makes 10% in the first month. And he looks at it and he says, oh, he made $50. That was a lot of work. All I made was $50. And if I would have done a 10 times trade on that instead of a 2 times trade, I would have doubled my money. And so then we start thinking that 10 times a month is small. It's not enough. And so we're starting to take bigger risks to try to get those bigger returns. And that's when things go against you and poof. It quick goes against you all of a sudden, boom, and you think, oh, I should have learned my risk control rules and stuck to them. And for me, it took a few of those because I didn't change my fear, my greed about money. As soon as I started doing cryptocurrencies, I was doing it with like $15 when I started. And so it was separate from my real world money, and I could play it and I could grow it. And by playing it and growing it over years, it started to change the way I was thinking and feeling about money in all aspects of my life, not just my trading. And then my trading got better. So it's kind of a catch-22. You got to practice leaving your money there and sitting for you and leaving that emotional feeling of it working for you, and it's never coming out. You're never touching that money again. It's always going to be there. You're a worker growing for you. And pretty soon, all the money you make, you start to see that your paycheck, at the end of the month, you want to have 20 additional dollars in your investments. You really want to take some of that money and keep growing it because you see that 20 turned into 21 and on and on and on. It gets addictive. It gets to be really self-fulfilling because you're thinking about it the correct way and you're feeling about it the correct way. It gets to be more fun It's easier to do. Monthly budgeting isn't a responsibility or a struggle anymore. Now it's kind of, hey, let's see where these numbers are. Let's squeeze a bit more that I could grow out of this. Basically, yes, the banks teach you all the wrong thing. The schools teach you all the wrong things about money. They leave you set in debt so that you are worried and you are dependent on your job. They make you work for money. They teach you to work for money. And I don't like to work for money. I don't like it. I work hard. I work hard all the time. I'm an obsessive worker, but I don't like to work for money. I like to work for the joy of it. I like to work for the challenge of it. I like to work for the potential gains of it. I don't like to work for the money. I like my money to work for me. Well, I'm trying to love money at the moment. There was a Tony Robbins program, and he talked about money. He says, you got to adopt it. It's got to become your pet. You got to take it home and you got to love it. You got to give it attention. You got to give it, you really got to draw this into your heart and with the positive emotions, because that's what's going to do better things with money. And you're going to do better and better and better. Start off easy. You're never going to become a black belt in one karate class. You can come over and take this free training over on the website, and it's great stuff. It's packed with information. It took me years to put it into this kind of succinct presentation so that it's there for you. You can pause it. You can review it. But it's just one karate class. No matter how good it is, taking one karate class is not going to make you a black belt. You need to repeat it. You need to practice it. You need to do it so that it is habitual, so that when the chart patterns come along and you see this divergence setting up and you see this chart pattern building and it's a top formation, you get sketchy. You know where your stop losses should be. You know that you're not going to get yourself into a super high leveraged position that gets you wrecked in what much time was that? 24 hours. We had one guy talking about he's been trading for a year and he lost it all in a day. And it's the same thing, being greedy at the beginning of the trade instead of fearful at the beginning of a trade. And it's something that you got to bump against the wall before you stop bumping against it. But you don't have to bump against it yourself. You can watch me bump against it and learn the lesson. And you don't have to lose all the money. You can learn the lesson from someone else. Your thoughts will have an effect on your future, more than your actions will. So sit down, take this training. And I see on my phone that we've got a couple people that have signed up for the training. I get an email notification when you sign up. So I appreciate that. And I am looking forward to you guys joining us in Discord so that we can continue on the conversation about it. It's not just a one-time free class that now you're a black belt in karate and you have all the answers. Now you have to practice it. It has to change the emotional set within you. And this isn't something that you do just by learning the information. It's not enough just to know about it. You've got to practice it until it becomes repetitive and habitual. Let me go back to Bluelos. It makes a decisive difference for me not to know, but to feel and believe. Such a huge long time. Habit and detailed plan. That's right. So it's the detailed plan and then repeating it and then reviewing yourself to see how did I do against the plan. Okay, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I could have done this. I could have done that. Now, how long does it take for these cycles to go? It takes a long time to practice this because we only get a chance here and we get a chance here. And look how many months it's been between. That's a damn year long before we get 2 chances to practice this system. Crazy. But now we're in the golden moment. So I'm a little off track here and running out of time as well. So I appreciate you guys being here, sticking through this whole thing. It's phenomenal. Great to have you here. Tone. I started with 1 ETH in my wallet and I made 2.33 right now, but I'm scared to trade again. Yes, I trade on Kraken. Take 1 month to make those double coins. Yep. So diversify. Tone, ETH1. We cannot know which one is going to be the one to take off the biggest, but if it is making that bottom formation, diversify. And we have the data for you. It comes with the back testing. It comes with all of the support. It comes with the crew of people who will help you learn it and explain it to you so that if you have any questions, if you have a self-doubt, that's the worst part is the self-doubt. because in trading, there's not a lot to do. There's a lot to think about. And I will sign off for now, and I'll see you guys over in our Discord chat. I don't know if I shared it or not, but let me know. Share it at the end because you guys stuck it out to the end. You're absolutely in for this information. Let's do it. Let's make this work for ourselves. I will see you over on Discord. Ciao for now.